Welcome back, Stoics. There comes a moment in a man's life when something deep inside him finally goes quiet. Not the quiet of defeat, not the quiet of confusion, but the quiet of clarity. The kind of quiet that doesn't tremble, doesn't negotiate, doesn't chase explanations. It just exists. Steady, grounded, unbothered. A silence born from understanding exactly who you are and exactly what you will no longer allow. A silence she never expected to face, because until now, she thought she understood you. She thought she knew your patterns. She thought she could predict your reactions like the back of her hand. One moment of distance, and she expected you to break it. One moment of emotional tension, and she expected you to fold. One moment of uncertainty, and she expected you to fill it with reassurance. But something changed. Something shifted inside you so quietly even you didn't notice it at first. You didn't decide to play silent. You just stopped participating in your own disrespect. You stopped giving your time, your attention, your heart to something that gave you nothing solid in return. And that's when everything inside her began to unravel. Because a woman can feel when your silence is still attached to her. She can feel when you're quiet because you're hurt. She can feel when you're holding back because you want her to chase you. She can feel when you're staying away to provoke a reaction. But she can also feel something else, something far more threatening. She can feel when your silence stops being emotional and becomes logical. When it stops being a reaction and becomes a decision. When it stops being about her and becomes about you. And that shift, brother, that's the one she never sees coming. It starts small, subtle, almost invisible. You don't text as fast. You don't explain as much. You don't try to solve every emotional storm she creates. You don't ask if she's upset. You don't chase clarity. You don't beg for reassurance. And at first, she might roll her eyes. She might tell herself you're just in your feelings. She might even smirk, thinking you'll be back to normal in a day or two. But then the days pass, and you still don't move. You still don't bend. You still don't return to that version of yourself she thought she had unlimited access to. And suddenly her confidence starts shaking, because now she's not dealing with the man who once feared losing her. She's now dealing with the man who realized losing her might have been the best thing that ever happened to him. And here's the truth no one talks about. The moment a man stops trying to fix what he didn't break is the moment a woman starts feeling the weight of everything she did wrong. Your silence becomes a mirror, not a punishment, not a tactic, just the truth. A reflection of who you became while she was assuming you'd never change. A reflection of the discipline you built while she was entertaining uncertainty. A reflection of your healing while she was repeating the same patterns, expecting you to tolerate them. And brother, she feels that. She feels it in the gap where your reassurance used to be. She feels it in the absence of your predictable devotion. She feels it in the quiet that used to be filled with your effort. But what shakes her the most is that she can't control this version of you. There was a time when she could raise her voice, pull away emotionally, take you for granted, ignore your needs, and you'd still do anything to hold on. You'd break yourself trying to save something she treated like it was optional. You'd overthink every detail while she barely thought at all. But that man, he's gone. And you didn't announce his departure. You didn't make a dramatic exit. You didn't shout. You didn't threaten. You simply grew. And growth, real growth, is silent. It wasn't her actions that changed you, it was your realization that you deserved more than recycled confusion. You deserved consistency. You deserved reciprocity. You deserved loyalty, not emotional leverage disguised as connection. You deserved peace, not chaos dressed as passion. And once a man realizes what he deserves, he stops bleeding for people who cut him. That's when she starts to panic. Not dramatically, quietly, internally, in ways she tries to hide but can't escape. She starts checking your social media more. She starts rereading old conversations. She starts noticing the effort you used to give that's now missing. She starts comparing who you were to who you're becoming. And for the first time, she sees the truth. You're slipping away, and she can't reach you the way she used to. Because your silence isn't soft anymore. It isn't emotional. It isn't scared. It isn't waiting. It's grounded, rooted, detached. It's the silence of a man who found himself again. And that silence, it hits her harder than anything you could have said. Because when a man who once cared with his whole heart becomes quiet, a woman's mind becomes loud. She starts replaying every moment she dismissed your feelings, every time she brushed off your concerns, every time she assumed you'd never leave. Every moment she chose her ego over empathy. Every opportunity she had to meet you halfway but didn't. And slowly, painfully, She begins to realize this silence isn't a test. It's a consequence. She thought she had more time. She thought you'd always be there. She thought her comfort zone was your home. But now she's standing in the very emptiness she created. And the door she thought you'd never close is no longer open. Because the moment your silence becomes a decision, brother, you stop waiting for her to treat you right. You stop hoping she'll finally appreciate your consistency. You stop trying to prove you're worthy of effort. You stop chasing clarity from someone who thrives in confusion. You stop negotiating your value just to be understood. You stop begging for love as if it's something you have to earn, and instead, you reclaim something she didn't think you'd ever take back: your self-respect. You see, a woman expects you to return to the place where she left you. She expects you to remain frozen in the version of yourself she was comfortable with. But when a man chooses silence, he evolves in ways she never prepared for. He becomes more selective, more grounded, more detached. Not because he's cold, but because he finally sees what was hurting him. She sees it too. She sees it in your eyes if she ever looks at you again. She sees it in your body language, in the way you no longer lean forward but lean back. She hears it in the way your voice no longer trembles with fear of losing her. She feels it in the emotional space you no longer let her occupy. Because when a man grows past someone, he doesn't have to announce it. His energy does it for him. And brother, your energy has changed. Your silence has weight. Your presence has boundaries. Your absence has meaning. Your distance has purpose. And the wild part, you didn't do it to make her feel anything. You did it to stop feeling broken. But the irony is, this is what finally makes her feel everything. Now she starts wondering if someone else has your attention, wondering if you finally got tired of her games, wondering if you've outgrown her, wondering if you've met someone who respects you the way she refused to, wondering if you've stepped into a version of your life that no longer includes her. And for the first time, she realizes something she was never ready to admit. Your silence isn't a game. It's a decision. A decision she pushed you to make. A decision she never thought you'd have the strength to follow through on. But you did. And now the balance of power has shifted, not because you took anything from her, but because you reclaimed everything you gave away to freely. Your peace, your emotional clarity, your presence. Your self-worth. Your identity, your soul. And the deeper you settle into that silence, the more she feels the distance between who you once were and who you're becoming. She tries to figure you out. She tries to decode what changed. She tries to understand the quiet, hoping it's temporary. But it's not. Because silence, when chosen intentionally, becomes a doorway into a man's next chapter. And brother, you've already stepped through it. You're not waiting for her to chase you. You're not waiting for her to understand. You're not waiting for her to treat you right. You're not waiting for her to see your worth. You're not waiting for closure, conversation, or clarity. You're not waiting, you're growing. And the moment a man grows past the version of himself that tolerated disrespect, he becomes someone a woman can't handle, can't predict, and can't replace, where the silence becomes transformation, and the transformation becomes power. Do you know Stoics? The moment your silence becomes a decision rather than a reaction, the world around you starts reordering itself. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, like the shifting of the earth beneath your feet. Not enough to make noise, but enough to change your direction forever. She feels it first, even if she pretends she doesn't, even if she laughs it off, even if she acts unbothered. Women have an instinct for energy the way men have an instinct for danger. And something in your silence feels dangerous. Not to your relationship, no, to her sense of control. Because she remembers the man you used to be. The man who cared too much, tried too hard, explained himself too often, worried too deeply. She remembers the softness in your voice when you were trying to save the connection she was busy breaking. She remembers how your heart was always open, even when hers was undecided. She remembers the emotional place where you used to stand, waiting for her to choose you fully, hoping she would stop taking your presence for granted. But now you're not in that place, and she doesn't know where you went. She senses the distance, the difference, the discipline. She senses the man who used to be afraid of losing her has become the man who is finally willing to lose anything that costs him his peace. And that terrifies her, because this version of you isn't driven by insecurity. This version of you isn't emotionally reactive. This version of you isn't dependent on her attention, her approval, or her affection to feel whole. This version of you is grounded, stoic, unreachable in the best way. You didn't become cold. You became controlled. You didn't become distant. You became discerning. You didn't become heartless. You became harder to manipulate, and she feels the shift in her bones. See, a woman can argue with your words. She can dismiss your complaints. She can ignore your boundaries. She can pretend your emotions are dramatic or exaggerated, but she cannot argue with silence. Silence is the one thing she can't spin, can't twist, can't control. Silence forces her to face the truth without the noise of your explanation softening the blow. Your silence is the reflection she avoided for too long. Now she's replaying things, wondering when she pushed too far, wondering which moment finally broke your tolerance, wondering what you saw that made you walk inward instead of toward her. Her mind becomes a battlefield between regret and ego, between wanting to reach out and wanting to pretend she doesn't care, between the desire to fix what she cracked and the fear that she has nothing left to offer the man you've become. And brother, here's the part she never expected. Your silence makes her confront herself. Because when a man withdraws emotionally, not out of weakness but out of wisdom, a woman is forced to examine the parts of herself she has been avoiding. Her impulsiveness, her indifference, her dismissiveness, her selfishness, her emotional games, the way she weaponized your love because she thought you'd never set it down. And that realization hits harder than any argument, harder than any goodbye. Because it wasn't you who walked away, it was her behavior that pushed you to your limit. A woman may tell herself you're just busy. She may tell herself you just need space. She may tell herself you're being dramatic. But deep down, she knows. She knows this silence feels different. It feels final. Not because you said it is, but because you no longer feel like a man waiting for her to wake up. You feel like a man who finally woke up himself. That's what she senses in the quiet. Your awakening, the awakening of a man who learned that his life can't revolve around someone who can't decide if they want to be in it. The awakening of a man who has become more loyal to his peace than to his patterns. The awakening of a man who refused to stay emotionally wounded in a place he was meant to outgrow. Your silence becomes your teacher. Your silence becomes your protection. Your silence becomes your transformation. But here's where the story takes a turn she never planned for. Your silence starts to rebuild you. At first, you stay quiet to protect yourself. But then you begin to realize that silence is not just the absence of noise. It's the presence of a man rediscovering himself. You start to notice your energy returning. You start to feel your old confidence rising from the ashes. You begin focusing on the things that make you stronger instead of the things that made you question yourself. Your mind sharpens. Your goals clear. Your priorities realign. You start hitting the gym harder, not to impress her but to rebuild the man she once underestimated. You start focusing on your purpose, not to distract yourself, but because your purpose finally feels more important than chasing clarity from someone who doesn't value it. You begin giving your attention to things that nourish you, not drain you. And while she's busy trying to decode your silence, you're busy leveling up. That's the moment where everything flips. Not because you tried to flip it, but because growth has a way of exposing who was meant to stay and who was meant to fall away. And suddenly, she's the one feeling uncertain. She's the one questioning her worth. She's the one trying to figure out if you still care. She's the one wondering if she pushed the one man who truly loved her too far. She's the one who now feels the weight of losing someone who never asked for much, just respect, honesty, and consistency. But here's the truth most men don't realize until it's too late. When you stop reacting, you stop being predictable. When you stop chasing, you stop being replaceable. When you stop explaining, you stop being accessible. When you stop engaging in the drama, you stop being controllable. Your silence turns you into the one thing she never expected, a man she can't read, and nothing scares. Someone who relied on emotional advantage more than losing her ability to emotionally influence you. Now she starts thinking, really thinking. Thinking about the nights you stayed up, trying to fix things. Thinking about the patience you showed when she took everything personally except her responsibility. Thinking about the times you tried to communicate and she brushed you off like your feelings were inconvenient. Thinking about the way you used to love her, the way you used to show up, the way you used to be present. And that's when it hits her. The version of you she took for granted no longer exists. You didn't change despite her. You changed because you outgrew the man who tolerated what was breaking him. And brother, that's where your power lies. Not in punishing her, not in seeking revenge, not in making her regret losing you. Your power lies in becoming the man you were always meant to be, one who needs no validation, no chase, no permission to rise. That's when she finally realizes your silence isn't a game. It's not Manipulation. It's not emotional withdrawal. It's not a test she can pass by feeding you breadcrumbs of temporary attention. Your silence is your evolution. Your silence is your boundary. Your silence is your rebirth. And here's the part she never expected. Once a man finds peace, he becomes almost impossible to disturb, because a healed man is not the same man she once hurt. A disciplined man is not the same man she once played with. A grounded man is not the same man she once controlled. A wiser man is not the same man she once took for granted. Your silence makes you dangerous, not in a destructive way, but in a self-controlled, untouchable, stoic way. Dangerous because you no longer respond to emotional manipulation. Dangerous because you no longer need someone to complete you. Dangerous because you finally understand your worth without anyone validating it. Dangerous because your peace no longer depends on her decisions. Dangerous because you learned how to stand alone without feeling lonely. And when a man reaches that point, something incredible happens. He becomes the man every woman wants, and the man the wrong woman never deserved. And deep down, she knows it. She knows you're slipping into your higher self. She knows you're becoming the man she thought she would always have access to. She knows your silence is no longer a temporary mood, it's a permanent shift. She knows you're choosing yourself in ways she never expected. And that's when she realizes the truth she was never ready to accept. She didn't lose you because you stopped loving her. She lost you because you finally started loving yourself. And once a man reaches that truth, he never goes back. So brother, if this message hit you deeply, if it made you rethink the way you carry yourself, the way you love, the way you respond, the way you protect your peace, then do me one thing. Comment below, "My silence is my decision." Because the moment you choose silence not as a reaction, but as a declaration of self-respect, you step into a level of power most men never reach. And if you want more daily Stoic wisdom, more emotional clarity, more strength for your journey as a man, subscribe to Stoic Spark, hit that bell icon, and watch the other videos waiting for you. Feed your mind, strengthen your spirit, protect your peace. And remember, brother, stay disciplined, stay detached, stay dangerous in your peace.